So this is Rolling Hills Country Club. It was built in 1965. Started off as a 9-hole pitch and putt, 18, developed over decades, and then the new iteration started June of 2015, and that was a David Kidd design. Everything behind me and everything to my left and right was the sand and gravel quarry. It was the Chandler quarry since 1930. 10 of the golf course holes are built on old property. The other 8 holes are now becoming home lots. Luckily, the club kept me here, even though they knew they were going to be closed for 2.5 years. I was partly responsible for help building the clubhouse on the members' behalf, and then also the project foreman for the golf course as far as the architect went and the construction company. So we really didn't start growing grass till about 1.5 years after we closed. And in building this project, they moved 6.5 million yards of dirt, which is the Rose Bowl filled to the brim 7 times. The fact that they moved that much earth in such a tight area was a minor miracle that I'm still amazed how they did. So the old golf course versus new golf course. Old golf course, we had 2 acres of green, now we have 6. We had 18-inch collars, standard. Now we have 14 acres of green surround that's mowed at 120 or lower. So in essence, we have 20 acres of putting surface, although 6 acres is technically the green. 20 acres of fairway on the old golf course to 65 acres of fairway, 2-acre range to 12-acre range. So then the question is, where do we do with all the stuff that we increased everything? What we did was we did away with 60 acres of maintained rough, and now we have 40 acres of native fescue unmaintained surrounds. The greens and the surrounds were all seeded with pure distinction from Tee-2-Green. Actually saw it on a trip to Monterey. No one down in LA had used it before. It was not the standard. And when we saw it, we made the decision the next day to actually use that grass, and it turned out great for us. We built these complexes as one big giant green. So there is no difference in any regard between the greens and the surrounds other than the height of cut. And when we did that, we treat this the exact same as that. So there's full circle heads around the greens, and then all the half circle heads are on the sides of the surrounds or where the Bermuda meets the bent grass, but we water them usually once a week. We really dry them down. And when we do water them, it's usually about 1 inch of water. And in Southern California, the biggest worry is POA intrusion. So when you have a bent grass green, your main goal is to keep that a bent grass green as long as humanly possible, hopefully forever. And that's why we water so infrequently, is we're trying to keep it dry so POA doesn't come in. There's 18 inches of sand. The roots go through that whole profile, and now they're starting to, or really quickly after we seed it actually, the roots are hitting the natural soil underneath. So we try to water down to that native soil, and then the roots are kind of serving as a straw down to that lower profile of soil. It's working great. I couldn't be happier with the greens. The biggest challenge is simply trying to grow 20 acres of putting green in, and some of the slopes that you've seen around here this steep, and trying to get the first couple mows on those things. But that's one of the reasons why the seed was so important to us. And that particular seed germinated in 5 days and was so aggressive that the hardest part of mowing it in the first couple times is only about a week. Because when you have maintained rough, you're mowing it in the afternoons 3 days a week. When you have maintained fairway or maintained surround like I'm standing on, you mow it 3 to 5 days a week every single morning before play. I mean, we send out 7 fairway mowers, 6 greens mowers, 2 rollers, 3 tee mowers. You know, it's just, we're almost maintaining a 36-hole facility on 18 holes. The most satisfying thing about the project, honestly, has just been the members. I mean, they love the golf course. David Kidd created a course that's challenging for the good golfer, but considering that this course couldn't be any more different if you tried from the old course, and everybody joined the old course because they liked the old course. So to see them take the exact opposite and love it 100 times more has been really fun.